Hi, today we're going to go over my Oscar predictions. This will be my final and my first video on this subject. I decided to go outside today. Such a nice day out. I was going to wear these, but when I came out here, this little part broke, if you can see that, and so the tinted little piece of glass and the glasses fell out, and now I can't wear them, so I'm going to be squinting this entire time. Alright, I'm going to be going through all the nominations from basically just the least important to the most important. We're going to be skipping over the short films just because I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any of the international or documentary features either, but I think I have a good enough understanding to predict those. First up, we got visual effects. There really isn't any competition here. It's probably going to be Tenet. It would be kind of a shock if it went to anything else. Like, there's like Mulan and The One and Only Ivan, Love and Monsters, and The Midnight Sky. Like, these are all movies that don't really matter, and Tenet is more of an achievement than any of them. For editing, I'm going to have to go with Nomadland. It's the only one of these movies that really has any sort of like flair with the editing, and it seemed not just like really good regular editing. Like, the editing felt like part of the movie itself, and it's winning like a bunch of other places, so it's a pretty safe bet. For costume design, I'm going to have to go with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It got snubbed out of the picture nomination. I'm also going to give makeup and hairstyling to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I don't really have much else to say about this, so we can just move on. For cinematography, I'm going to go with Nomadland. If I was an Academy voter, this is what my vote would go towards. A lot of other great-looking movies this year, but none of them had quite the cinematography that Nomadland did. Best production design, I'm going to have to give it to Mank. It had just the most impressive accomplishment as far as I can tell from a production standpoint. The Academy loves movies about movies, and all of the sets in this movie are just movie sets. There's a very good chance that Mank wins absolutely nothing else besides this. I feel like if they're going to give it an award, they're going to give it here. Best sound, we have Sound of Metal. There's nothing else to say, it's going to win. Best song, I'm just gonna guess Speak Now, because that seems like it's been the popular choice, even though they had the Golden Globes song from The Life Ahead. Yeah, Leslie Odom Jr. probably is not gonna win Best Supporting Actor, so this is a great place to award him. For Best Score, I'm gonna go with Soul. I don't really know who else this could go towards. Maybe Mank, even though it's two of the same composers. Lock it in for Soul. Best documentary, I'm gonna go with My Octopus Teacher. That's just what I've heard about the most, and it's getting the most awards recognition. Best international feature, I'm gonna go with Another Round, because Thomas Vinterberg has the Best Director nomination, which was a complete and total surprise. I haven't seen it yet. I might watch it like tomorrow night. Looks great. Best animated feature is Soul. It's a shutout. Nothing else is winning. My eyes are watering so much. Best adapted screenplay is going to go to Nomadland. Just the way that they use the interviews, I think they're interviews with the real nomads of the Nomadland. It's just a very unconventional way to do a script, and since Chloe Zhao is getting all the director recognition, it just makes sense. For best original screenplay, I'm not super familiar with how this race is turning out, but I'm going to go with Minari because Minari has a great script and it's written by the director. I don't think that Sorkin is gonna get it. That would be my next choice. That probably would be my personal vote, honestly, just because of how much they managed to fit in that script. It was structured very well, but I think Minari has the best shot. All right, now we're getting to the big awards. Best Supporting Actress, I'm going to predict Yoon Yoo-jung from Minari. The only other person who could take this is like Glenn Close, and that's just because she doesn't have an Oscar yet. Hillbilly Elegy is what I've heard. It's not a very Oscar-worthy movie. I would love to see Maria Bakalova win this, but I just don't think it's possible. Like, I feel like the Oscars aren't gonna make an exception for their no comedies rule just for Maria Bakalova when they have Yoon Yoo-jung here for Minari, who is kind of a breakthrough star. There is always the possibility of Glenn Close taking it just because they need to give her an award at some point. Glenn Close did put on a bunch of makeup and stuff and acted like a crazy person, so they might just give it to her for that, but my money's gonna be on Yoon Yoo-jung, even though I'm not gonna bet money on any of this. The winner for Best Supporting Actor is going to be Daniel Kaluuya. Not even a prediction. It's just going straight to Daniel Kaluuya every single time he's nominated. Leslie Odom Jr. isn't gonna upset. Sacha Baron Cohen isn't gonna upset. Paul Raci isn't gonna upset. Lakeith Stanfield is definitely not gonna upset. I would be extremely happy if anybody else won as well, but Daniel Kaluuya deserves this, and there's just no way he's not gonna win this at this point. For Best Actress has the weirdest category this year. The Best Actress race still has no frontrunner. There is absolutely zero direction for any of this. It could be anybody. You gotta expect the unexpected. It could be Vanessa Kirby, and she hasn't won any of the major awards so far. I do not think they're going to give it to Vanessa Kirby, even though that probably would be who I would vote for. I also don't think that they're going to give it to Andra Day. I feel like you can't trust her Golden Globe win to get her over the Oscar. I think the Oscars are going to pick somebody else. That leaves us with the big three of Viola Davis, Carey Mulligan, and Frances McDormand. I don't think they're going to give it to Frances McDormand again because they've already given her 2 awards. Viola Davis also already has an Oscar, which is going to put her at a disadvantage. That leaves us with Carey Mulligan, who has been nominated before but hasn't won. With this competitive of an award season, I think it makes sense to go with Carey Mulligan. She's won the most minor awards, even though she hasn't won many of the major awards so far. Nobody else has either, so you can't really fault her for that. I have nothing else to go off of, and I think Carey Mulligan did a fantastic job, and I feel like Oscar voters are really going to go for that. I don't know, I just have a good feeling about it. I don't have a great feeling about it, because who does about this category? That's what I'm gonna lock it in. That's my prediction. Carey Mulligan, whatever. Moving on to Best Actor, there was the BAFTA upset with Anthony Hopkins winning. Other than that, it's just been Chadwick. So I'm gonna go with Chadwick Boseman, even though I think Chadwick is going to win. Based on acting alone, I think that Anthony Hopkins probably deserves this, but Chadwick will never have another opportunity to win one of these. He's a phenomenal actor, and he did a great job in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I would be super psyched if Riz took this home, but that's just not going to happen. If it's not Chadwick, it's going to be Anthony Hopkins. Best Director is not nearly as exciting as it could have been. I'm going to put down Chloe Zhao. Chloe Zhao has been getting all of the director awards. She did do a phenomenal job with the direction of that movie. It's her movie through and through. She did everything for every part of it. And you can tell. Thomas Vinterberg doesn't really stand a chance just because he's the only one to be nominated for Best Director who didn't have their film in Best Picture. I would love to see David Fincher get an Oscar, but I just don't think this one is going to him. He'll have to wait for another chance, even though he did make one of the most Oscar baity movies of all time. Lee Isaac Chung just does not have enough hype to carry him over past where Chloe Zhao is. And Emerald Fennell, while her movie was phenomenal and her direction was very apparent, she's a first-time director and it wasn't as well directed, I don't think, as any of the other contenders for Best Director. Now we've got the big one, Best Picture. I'm going to lock it in for Nomadland. I think that the only other possible upsets are like maybe Minari. Honestly, I feel like Minari has a pretty good shot compared to something like, I don't know, like Judas and the Black Messiah. I think Minari has a way better shot at winning this than like Mank or The Trial of Chicago 7. I would say The Father, but Florian Zeller did not get a director nomination, and I feel like that was pretty critical. I feel like Sound of Metal and Promising Young Woman were both nominated just because they seem like the little movies that could. I think that people like them, and they really like them, and they like them enough to get them nominated for Best Picture, but they don't like them enough to vote for them for Best Picture. I feel like Minari has the best chance out of every other movie besides Nomadland, but I also feel like they're not going to give it to 2 like Korean movies back to back. When they gave it to Parasite, it was a huge shock, and even though this is an American movie, I just don't think they're gonna go for another like Korean focused film. I have no idea what other movie it would be. Everything else just doesn't seem like it hits all the right boxes that Nomadland does. Nomadland is sweeping Nomadland was nominated for 6 awards, and I have him down as winning 5. I think it's going to be a huge Nomadland sweep. Who else could be winning Best Picture? I hope it's not a repeat of La La Land, otherwise I'll be very, very wrong. I have really high hopes that Nomadland will take away a lot of awards this year. Hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Hope you enjoy watching the Oscars on Sunday, and take care.